Hey everyone, I am Ray Preka, one of the editors at Entertainment Buddha, and today we're going to be kind of trying out a new little video feature. I think we're going to call it 15 Minutes of Fame. So what to expect? You're going to see some of our staff members, myself included obviously, taking a look at really any old game. Give it 15 minutes, see how we like it, see how it plays, kind of get our thoughts and opinions, kind of a quick take. It should be pretty fun, and I think you'll be able to see some kind of a diverse selection of games. We're starting with Dying Light right now, just because that was what was in my PlayStation when I sort of came up with this idea 20 minutes ago. So without further ado, gonna dive in. I'm not really sure where hitting continue is gonna put me, but it should be kind of interesting, so let's kind of see what happens. And I guess for fairness sake, I will not start the timer until the game loads fully.
Rise went back on his word, but the GRE won't let me just walk away. Plus, if there's any chance that we can get that Antis in, I have to try. So this time he wants me to gather protection money from the surrounding settlements.
So, Dying Light, I picked it up last night, actually. People really seem to like it. I played about 5 hours. Hold on one sec, let me get this timer started. Alright, we got 15 minutes, let's see what happens. So yes, this is Dying Light, developed by Techland, and I think Warner Bros. Published it. Came out last week. People seem to like it. I've only played a few hours. Like I said, I bought it last night. It's kind of fun. I'm sort of on the fence right now, the proverbial fence, if you will. Yeah, I think it's one of those games that I need some more time since it feels so much like everything else that's available on the market right now. Kind of the sum of the parts of 5 or 10 other popular games. But that being said, it does do some stuff pretty cool. So let's jump in, let's look around, let's have some fun. I think I'm going to avoid doing any like actual story missions right now just because that'll eat up more time than we have. So yeah, jumping right in, you can see there's tons of zombies. This one's going to bite me, not too concerned. The main elements kind of this game are the free running, sort of a la Mirror's Edge would probably be a good comparison. I'm sure one that a lot of people will make. But as you can see, as you run through the world, or the country, or city, or whatever the heck we're in, you can kind of climb, jump, leap, whatever. Verticality is a big part of this game, which is something that I think it does very well, actually. You can see it's pretty easy to climb up just about anything. It's not perfect. Sometimes it can feel a little clunky, but other times it feels really great. The sense of speed, even sort of early in the game, is one of the things that drew me to it. Check this out too. You can fucking run right over a zombie and jump off him. It's pretty cool. I do not like, since I'm playing on the PlayStation 4, as I mentioned, I'm not a big fan of the control scheme, with R1 being the primary, I guess, parkour / jump button. Just sort of strange, but what are you gonna do? You can also kick, which is something those who played, what was it, Dead Island will definitely be familiar with. Personally, when I think of first-person kicking, I think of Dark Messiah, which I think did it better than any other game ever will. You can also kind of do some cool dodges. You'll notice at the top of the screen where that little experience bar is, pretty much every action you do in this game will net you some form of experience, which is kind of rad. The little RPG enthusiast in me really appreciates that. So just simply climbing up this wall, it's going to get me some parkour or agility experience. Swinging my pipe wrench at zombies gets me combat experience. I think completing missions and other objectives like that will net you survivor experience, which kind of goes into bartering, inventory, etc., etc. Yeah. There's a lot going on in this game. As I mentioned before, it does really feel like sort of a hodgepodge of other popular game ideas. I didn't mean to do my weapon there, I meant to heal, but borrows heavily from, you know, any other kind of first-person shooter movement type game. Mirror's Edge specifically. I didn't want to come in here and do this. But that's actually a good transition, talking about some of the quote-unquote Ubisoft influences, if you will. Littered throughout the map, there's tons of safe houses and things, much like that one I just walked into, that you have to liberate, which get you experience, places to rest, sell, buy, etc., etc. So it feels very similar to that. It's got a lockpick, which appears to just be a giant paperclip. Which kind of actually that leads into the crafting stuff, so let's talk about that. So you go right over here, right under the blueprint subheading, you can see all your different crafting things. The game's kind of scattered with different items, plastics, household supplies, metal parts, etc., which you can combine to make useful things like med kits, firecrackers. There's also a upgrade your weapon kind of system, which is sort of cool. I haven't played around with it too much because I'm pretty early in the game. You can see pretty decent amount of inventory slots. Got a wide array of weapons. Bring my knife out. I think that one looks pretty cool. So scavenging, kind of looking around, running and jumping are really the main elements. For those of you that are combat enthusiasts, might not be the best game. Specifically from what I've played so far, it seems like Techland put a much larger emphasis on running, parkour, jumping, avoidance more so than actual combat. Not to say that the combat isn't bad, it's pretty brutal, it's pretty satisfying, it's tense, but it definitely feels a little bit less developed than the movement elements of the game, which is fine. I'm not, crazy about first-person melee combat to begin with, so. Whoop. From what I've seen so far, too, I believe it's Haran is the name of the area I'm in. It's a pretty cool little place, shanty town. Everything's kind of effed up since the whole zombie outbreak thing. So it's kind of diverse in terms of some of the locations I've seen. Like now, I guess I'm at a train yard. Keep going over. You got some big towers from the city proper. Some kind of shanty stuff you'll see in a lot of areas. Baseball bat. I like my hammer. Each weapon, too, much like Dead Island, has durability. So you have to, I guess more so than ever, kind of pick and choose your battles, because each weapon will degrade with each hit on a zombie, and in addition to that, each weapon can only be repaired so many times. So I guess that further incentivizes the scavenging and avoiding combat as much as you can. Let's see if I can jump, kind of leap of faith into this trash. So yeah, falling onto cars, falling into bags of trash, stuff like that, that all kind of plays into safe zones, if you will. Let's fight these guys since they're roughing that gentleman up. And then we'll search their dead bodies. What's up, dude?
I was just trying to take a peek outside. Those flesh eaters spotted.
He wanted to give me some money for helping him out. That's cool. There are random, I guess, side quests or little submissions that pop up a lot like that. This hammer is really good. Oop. Got lots of them. So you can see you can get overrun or overwhelmed pretty easily. But most of these zombies are pretty terrible at climbing. There are different zombie types, like fast ones that are much more agile. But for the most part, all the regular zombies are pretty easy to avoid unless they sneak up behind you or something. We probably won't see any of the other zombie types in this little 15 minutes of fame look, but I don't know, maybe we'll come back to this, or someone else on the staff will, because I know one of our writers, David, did the review. He did a great job with that. I believe Matt Haywood, our or entertainment-in-chief, editor-in-chief is playing it as well. So I think you'll probably see some more content involving Dying Light, so maybe they'll dive more into it. Since I have a limited time frame, I won't get into the nuts and bolts of that kind of stuff so much. Ew, that looks gross. Let's see what's in here. Story-wise, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not too far into it, so it does seem kind of scattered so far. Wow, like I got screwed. But kind of get dropped into this area. I'm working for some shadowy corporation as far as I know. And things go south once I hit the ground. And now I'm kind of just trying to survive, working for a few different groups, a couple drug dealer guys, some seemingly good people that I have a feeling aren't going to be all that good as the game progresses. But, so, story, nothing really to write home about just quite yet. I do have some hopes that it will turn around a little bit, but, you know, I can't predict the future as much as I like to try. Unless it's about games like Destiny and Dragon's Age, then I can predict the future. So as you can see, as I'm kind of just scooting around, movement is really fun. That being said, there are some faults, or problems, I guess I should say, with it. The first being, excuse me, in a lot of areas the game requires you to shimmy across different objects and heights, which I think is pretty terrible. If I see a good point to kind of show it off, I will, but like this is, I guess it won't even let me do it. But just due to the restriction of your camera in terms of your movement, shimmying feels really clunky in that you have to look kind of facing the wall and move laterally like this. But if you need to jump to something, you have to turn before you can jump, so it's clunky. A lot of this game kind of feels thoughtful yet clunky, maybe is a good way to describe it. I don't know. It's definitely worth it if you're not playing anything else. It's kind of it's the type of game that I like to play for a couple hours here or there when I'm not doing anything. A lot of times I just avoid like story mission type stuff. You can just run around, have some fun like that. I wonder where this leads. Let's run over this guy. You can see there's some like spike traps and stuff you can sort of kick zombies into. Maybe we can get one of these guys in here. Come on, go back. Yeah, gotcha. So that's pretty cool. There's, you know, environmental things to play with like that. I hate that animation so much. The zombies do feel like they kind of track onto you a little bit better than you can swing at them in some instances, but I think that's more out of a necessity of design than anything else, because if they really couldn't, then you could blow past every single one of them. Oh, I'm surprised I survived that. I think my favorite part of the game is being able to vault over the zombies' heads. I wish I could see that in third person. You also have, by pressing X or holding X, you have what they call survivor sense, which you can kind of see sends out a ping in your immediate location, which allows you to find key items or things you can scavenge. It's sort of cool. Got some pistol ammo. I don't even have a pistol. No, this guy looks like he shot himself. It's a shame. Sorry, bro. Could have survived with me. You can get like drop kicks and stuff like that as well. I haven't unlocked it yet. But actually, let's look at the upgrade trees real quick. So under your skills, like I said, there's 3 different levels. There's survivor, agility, power, power being combat, agility movement, survivor being survivability. Within that, there are lots of different upgrades you can pick and choose from with each new level, which is kind of cool. You can see each one kind of has different ranks required. So agility, there's your slide, your vault, your drop kicks, just better movement overall. Combat, obviously more fighting focused than anything. You can throw weapons, be stronger, etc., etc. All around good stuff. Game looks pretty good too, as I'm sure you've probably gathered by this. Hopefully it translates well after compression and everything, but don't have any real complaints about the visuals. So yeah, like I said, this is the kind of game, if you like running, jumping, smashing, and scavenging, this is probably right up your alley. And I'd say paying full retail price is probably worth it if those things I just mentioned interest you. A lot of games that come out today, I'm not necessarily a proponent of buying for $60 or whatever it costs in your country, but this one might just be worth your time. I don't know. So anyway, I am Ray Preka, editor of Entertainment Buddha, and that's been our first ever 15 minutes of fame. Thanks for tuning in, and I'm sure you'll be hearing more from me and everyone else in this video format soon.